if you're going to start your lawn care business this season, there's two things that if you did these two things, you would win. You would 100% win. And that is know what you want to achieve. So when I ask a lot of people, where do they want to go? What's their goals for their business? They'll have a vague idea. They'll be like, I want to make a lot of money. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, I just like to be able to go to work and come home. And like, it's very vague ideas of what you want to achieve. Know exactly what you want. When you say a lot of money, how much is a lot of money? And how much time are you willing to work to get that? So if you want to make, let's say you just want to replace your full-time income. So you want to make $60,000 a year take home after expenses, and you want to work 35 hours a week so that you can drop your kids off or you can pick them up from school or whatever it is. That's awesome. That's perfect. That's a super clear goal. You know exactly where the end point is for you. And you can readjust your goals once you hit it, but that's where you're shooting for. That's where you're aiming for. And then you can reverse engineer it and figure out, what does it take to get there? Okay, so how many clients do I need? What's it going to take to get those clients? You know, like, what's the hourly rate I need to charge to get to, let's say you need to make $2,000 a week or $2,500 a week to take home 60,000, and you only want to do it in 35 hours, then you calculate that. Okay, so 2,500 divided by 35 hours. What's that hourly rate? And now you know if you're mowing lawns, you don't mow lawns for 8 hours. You might be only mowing lawns for 6 hours out of your 8-hour day. So then you calculate that. You take that, say $500 a day, whatever it is, calculate that into 6 hours of working time. And now you know that's your hourly rate for when you are on the job for your customers. You know, on your job mowing the lawn, the machines are running. You know, not the drive time in between, it's while you're on site. And it gives you a very clear path to where you want to go. And you just reverse engineer everything. So if you know where you want to go, how to get there, which you will learn over time. So at first you'll only have a rough idea because you don't know the insides and outs. You don't have clear numbers on stuff. But as you do more work and as you're in the industry more, you'll learn these things and the path will become more clear. But as long as you know where you're going, that's the key point. And then after that, just never quit. Just say to yourself, I'm going to get there. That's that. Whether it takes me 10 years, whether it takes me 2 years, I'm just going to keep going and I'm going to get there. Sometimes it's going to suck. Sometimes people are going to tell you it's not working. You might take you 5 years of failure, 5 years of not hitting the numbers, 5 years of struggling to pay your rent, struggling to eat, struggling, really struggling. But if you just said to yourself you were never going to quit, you'll get there. You don't think if you took 10 years working at your thing, or you took 15 years, 20 years, that you would get there? Even if the goal was crazy, even if you want to make $1 billion. If you worked every hour of the day for 70 years, do you think you can make $1 billion? I think you probably could. But you might not be willing to do that. So you pick a goal that you are willing to work for. So for me, I've had it, I believe anything's possible. So I believe that I could I could build rockets and go to the moon, right? I believe that's possible. There's amount of things that I need to do before that to get there. I don't know what those things are now, but there is a million small actions that I need to do in order to take us to the moon. And if I just did those, we would end up in the moon. But I'm not willing to give up my life to get us to the moon. I'm not going to work every hour. Look at Elon Musk. He works every hour of the day. He has a terrible family life. He has terrible mental state. He does nothing but work 24/7. And he's the best there is in this entrepreneurship world. But I'm not willing to do that. I want to live. I want to do cool stuff as well. So I just pick a smaller goal. Whatever your goal is, and you might have kids, you might have a wife, you might have all these other factors in your life. You just might not be interested in working that hard. And so you might be happy to do 50 hours a week to get it off the ground, to then have it comfortable at 35 hours a week, where you make 60 grand a year, 80 grand a year take home, and you're just chilling, you're just enjoying life. You have that perfect work-life balance. You don't have anybody telling you what to do. You can go home whenever you want, do all these things, and life's fantastic. So know where you're going, be very clear. Not, I want to make heaps of money. How much money do you want to make? How many hours are you willing to work to get there? And then what does it take to get there? What are the things, what are the actions I have to do? What are the actions I have to take to get to my goal? And then just never quit. And if you do that, you'll win.